Hello, in this video we're going to look at some review questions that deal with consumer surplus. Question 1. A demand equation is given by the following. What is the gross benefit associated with consuming 8 units of the good? So we're going to set the quantity demanded, the left-hand side equal to 8, and we're going to solve for P. So subtracting 30 from both sides, we get minus 22. The minuses on both sides cancel, and dividing through by 2, the price is $11. Let's now solve for the inverse demand. So setting the left-hand side equal to the quantity demanded of good X, and solving for the price. Subtracting 30 from both sides, and now dividing through by 2. 30 divided by 2 is 15, and then 1 over 2 is just 0.5. And if we were to graph that demand curve, get something like this, vertical intercept of 15. And as we saw when we plugged in $11 into the demand equation, the quantity demanded was 8. So the gross benefit of 8 units is going to be the area between the demand curve and the horizontal axis. So the area between the demand curve and the horizontal axis will give us the gross benefit. And that area can be decomposed into a triangle. So we got this triangle area here. So 1/2 base times height for this triangle. So the dimensions of that triangle are given as follows. 15 minus 11 is the height. 8 minus 0 is the base. And then multiply that all by 1/2. We get $16. And then the next part of this area between the demand curve and the horizontal axis is going to be a rectangle. It's going to be 11 by 8 rectangle. And that's $88. So adding up 16 to 88, the gross benefit here is going to be $104. The consumer's maximum willingness to pay, in other words, is $104. What is consumer surplus from these 8 units? We can think of consumer surplus in this context. We're going to solve it one of 2 ways. First, we could take the gross benefit minus the total spending on the 8 units. And as we found, the gross benefit is $104. And the total spending, what the consumer actually spent on the 8 units, is just price times quantity, or 11 times 8, and that is $16. So the consumer was willing to spend $104 on 8 units of this good, but only spent $88. The difference is consumer surplus. Or alternatively, we could calculate consumer surplus as the area between the demand curve and the price, this $11 price, up to this 8th unit. And the area of that triangle is $16. Our next question is, what is the change in consumer surplus if the price falls from $11 to $9? We have a $2 decrease in the price. And so we're going to notice here that we're going to take our inverse demand, we're going to plug $9 into it, and we're going to solve for the quantity demanded, or X. And X in this case will equal 12. So at a price of 9, consumer would buy 12 units. So the change in consumer surplus is going to be the green area right here. So the consumer is getting $2 of additional consumer surplus on the first 8 units, and then the consumer is buying 4 more units with some additional consumer surplus on those additional 4 units. So if we calculate this green area, we're going to break it up into a rectangle. It's going to be a 2 by 8 rectangle, so that's a 2 times 8 right there. And then this triangle over here on the far right is going to be given by this dimension right here, 1/2 base times height. So the change in consumer surplus from the decrease in the price is that consumer surplus would go up by $20. All right, that's the end.